What is up? Ryan, what is going on, my friend?
There we go. Everything's all quiet. What's going on, everybody?
Nothing, man. I'm just here for Dynamite. What are you here for?
Oh, Dynamite, Dark Elevation, Dark, all of it. Get it all taken out the way,
You just wanna like bury into AEW. Just
get into that AEW stuff. But before that AEW stuff, I will say I want to bring up a TNT issue. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Jeff, or the people have seen this. Yes. But TNT, Turner Network, the company bought the rights to the NHL Wednesday nights.
Yeah, but Tony Khan just put a message. He actually he went on about it. He said in their contract they have Wednesday for the next year and a half.
I thought it was 2.5.
They said year and a half left in the new 2-year deal.
Okay.
He said the only way they're changing days is if it's something that's going to also help AEW. It can't be. He's not going to just do it because they're really kind of honed in on Wednesday nights. And obviously, you've seen by the ratings the last 2 weeks without having NXT opposing them, they're starting to put up close to Raw numbers now. They're putting up the 1.1s, 1.2s when Raw's clearing 1.4. So you're not actually that far off from overtaking Monday night slow time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, out of all of it, Monday night's been a pretty poor night.
That's what everybody says. It's weird. It's like you watch SmackDown and it's the same people. They must really just hate all the people that work for them.
Yeah, way better. SmackDown's way better to watch, easier to watch.
NXT is always fantastic. It's just nice to be able to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then you have, obviously, All Elite Wrestling.
Right here. We got Dynamite.
So, I guess I'll introduce something first and then we will get on to the review.
We'll get on to the review.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. Bye.
Yep.
Just get him right here. But I will be back in 2 seconds. But in the meantime, everybody stare at Ryan's face because
yes, the face that is great.
There it is.
So
it's Ryan's face.
Well, my man is gone for a minute. Just get into it. We'll welcome you guys back. I know we've been out of the loop for a minute, but we're getting back to it. We have we bring you Elevation, Dark, and Texas Dark Elevation and Dark results. Just giving that to you. And, we're going to be going through the show of Dynamite and what our thoughts are and how it all went, all that kind of stuff. I'm just giving you guys the results if you didn't get a chance to watch it. Hey, look who's back.
Yeah. So, if you guys watched us before, you would know that we are very big on, we're competitive when it comes down to pay-per-view time.
Okay? Yes.
And we fought for many things. Okay. There's a Ben Simmons without a head. Because his head fell off. So if you won one title, you would have to then try to win the other one to complete the full Ben Simmons pop.
Yeah, that was one.
We had an AEW one, but it was literally a patch.
That was the patch, right? It wasn't the pin. We didn't have a pin of that.
To this day, I kind of feel like Ryan stole it. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
Listen, I won it, and I never got it back. I'm just going to point that out.
So because he wanted to win it and never did. So I present to you the newest pay-per-view title.
Okay.
The AEW Replica Championship. Yes, Ryan, I do have one for you.
Okay.
So,
if I win,
what I do is drop it off at your home, and then if you are the winner, you can carry it around on air.
Or if you're the
winner when you're not winner, that's weird, but okay, whatever.
I'm gonna carry it no matter what.
But it will be on whoever is the winner gets to carry it and call themselves champ until the following pay-per-view. So that's a long time with AEW.
Once a quarter,
every 3 months.
Yeah, like once a quarter type of deal.
So we get it ready for Double or Nothing.
That works with me. I'm down with that. We'll get this
I don't have
on
a
the road.
title, but
we'll get titles, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we'll go through it that way.
I don't blame you. So let's see, man. So I know you're super pumped about Elevation and all the other owns. So what do you? Oh no.
I'm pumped about Elevation because my man Paul White's on Elevation. Tony Schiavone, great duo.
It's just how I feel about. I'm weird because I totally enjoy. I enjoy Taz and Excalibur more. I just think they have
I
a
used
good
to like them as much. I
time.
mean, they're still good. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason I like the Paul White Tony combo.
I just think that Tony, and Shivani, sometimes I think he needs help because he knows about as many moves as I do. He's just slamming them. Like, I love Shivani, but I think like you need an Excalibur there to like compensate for it. So like that's what I think is wrong with like Paul White's new, and I feel like he's getting way better week by week. The first week was kind of, you could tell it was his first week doing it, but like
Yeah, I mean,
you could tell Paul White's getting in there, and he has to get out of the WWE mentality. That's the biggest issue. Is he had that WWE like perfection mentality that goes on, and I think it's taken him a little while to realize like these guys
I can screw up. It doesn't matter.
Right, like I don't think he expects any of Max Caster's raps where 90% of the time there's genitals involved in some form.
Caster is just
my God,
a little above and beyond. WTF modes with him, kissing the hands, rubbing them on himself. As you know, we can talk about. He did
on this week's Dark. He was stroking the thighs, man.
He did it. So on Elevation, he kissed the hand, and then on Dark, I'm pretty sure is when he took Fuego's hand and rubbed it down his chest. I think it was after he beat him, after he kissed him a few times.
And he was also rubbing down Fuego's thighs.
Was he? I must admit, I tried to skip all of that as much as I could because it was disturbing.
Bowen's even like, he like pushed him and was like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Listen, man, might be a good wrestler, but as long as the gimmick were okay. But after seeing all these different creepy things, by him, and then like going back, like if that's his gimmick, all right, cool. But if it's not, man needs some help.
Creepy.
Might be very creepy. So let's jump into that Dark Elevation real quick, and just run through the winners and losers real quick, and just point out some highlights that I thought maybe pertinent for you guys to listen to. So if you guys don't watch Dark Elevation and Dark, and just watch Dynamite, or if you don't watch any of it, here's where we're going to give you that review on it. And just to note, there are stuff that happened on these these smaller shows, I guess you want to call it, or just their YouTube shows that do carry over to Dynamite sometimes. So Ray Phoenix,
and I think you notice that a lot, and I've noticed that with I'm not pointing out any other people who do the podcast anything, but I'm just saying you can tell sometimes when they're doing it because they'll say like, I don't know where this came from. But if you had watched Dark, you would see like a lot of this Nightmare Factory or Nightmare Family versus the Factory business
was all through Dark and Dark Elevation.
You watch a combo of that, and even
the Hardy Foundation, same thing.
Right. A lot of them are doing a lot of work on those two shows to push their storylines and make them better. And I get it. It's like 5 hours of wrestling between 2 days. They sometimes you'll have to watch 15 matches. But I think it's fun. Personally, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it was okay when
it's good wrestling. It's cool to see a lot of people. I don't know if they get the Lee Johnson thing as much because
they're watching
the guy who came out of nowhere, but really he lost 100 fucking matches.
Yeah, he put his work in. He put his work in and on Dark and put himself where he is today.
Exactly. So before he was able to be getting this push by the Nightmare Family, he was the Nightmare Family member who couldn't win a match. He was getting smoked on a daily basis. So that's exciting. And you see that a lot now. I'm telling you, one person on Dark / Elevation that I cannot wait to kind of hit the big time on Dynamite is Kylie King. She's she reminds me of Sheamus in female form. It's not just because she's a redhead, but she's that big. She does the scream almost like the fella, right? Where he's like fella. She just screams at the top, right?
When she first came out, I'm pretty sure it was more a Celtic type Kylie King when she first started on Dark.
It is a Celtic thing they run, but she's big, but she's very athletic, and you can see her skills are ramping up quick. And now she's starting to win matches. It's a matter of time before you start seeing her
Well, because I think she's somewhat signed with them.
Yeah, because I think you're gonna get that combo of her and because you can I can already imagine a match like her and Statlander. They're very similar builds. They're bigger women, but they're both very athletic and probably can put on a killer match right from the
yeah.
speaking
of athletic and put on killer matches. You know, Ray Phoenix, who was on Dark Elevation this week. I mean, him and Chuck Taylor put on a fantastic match. I'm saying, so when we get into this, and obviously there are definitely, you can see like, oh, these guys are going to win or lose because their talent that's still working and getting their reps in by having these matches. But then you have matches like to open up Dark Elevation was Ray Phoenix and Chuck Taylor. You have a high flyer and a grounded wrestler. It was a great match all the way around.
That's right.
So
They're like one of the most underrated groups
in
AEW. They no matter whenever they're in, like they don't have to be main eventing every day, but when they main event or even just put them in a match, it's a good match. Like we'll talk about Orange Cassidy's match later on in from Dynamite this week.
Yeah,
was also a tremendous match. But
exactly.
Yeah, as far as Dark Elevation goes, what else kind of stood out to you?
So, I mean, you had, like I said, you had Ryan Nemeth defeat Ryzen. Nothing real much unless you're watching BT, I think Ryzen's on, or Sammy's Vlog. I can't remember which. He's doing something on one of them.
He's on. He's there with the Blue Chew incident right now.
Yeah, the Blue Chew incident. I can't remember which one that was. They all run it. I love all the shows.
It's that's on BTE.
They all run in
that.
Then you have, so speaking of Orange Cassidy also had a match on Elevation. He won his match against another up-and-comer, Dean Alexander.
It had to be almost, it was like, what, the second to fastest match of all time? Was that the one?
That wasn't that one, I don't think. That was a couple weeks ago. I thought it was the quick match. Maybe it was.
The dude with all the money, and then he turned around, just got beach braked, and then that was it.
But this one, I know he tried to start it off that way, but
I don't have my notes up. So
I don't remember I don't remember.
What's the dude's name he fought this week?
He fought Dean Alexander on Dark Elevation.
Oh no, it wasn't that one. What about Dark? Maybe Dark he was.
Maybe when you get to Dark, the Acclaimed, defeated two guys in Liam Gray and Adrian Alanis. Again, the Acclaimed, another guys they started back wrestling because Anthony Bones just came back, because it's guys you don't see wrestling all that much. But you see Mass Caster wrestle singles, and boy, does that guy still disturb me, as we've already talked about. But again, they're fighting together. And then you had Nick Camarado fight against VSK. And then another, so they signed Layla Hirsch, who had a promo on Elevation, I remember. But her and Rio Mizunami have been having tag team matches together on Dark and Dark Elevation. And they ended up winning. They beat Diamante.
Kind of push. I don't think that has anything like big to it. I think it's just them trying to give Layla a bit of personality, like because she kind of looked like this straight laced, like do my work, go home girl, and then like they brought Rio in with her, and like she's wearing the glasses, and she's like dancing with her down to her thing, like. They're trying to. They gotta give Layla Hirsch. That's the next part of like her journey. Like the wrestling is down. It's now the next part of her like career is we got to build you an actual character. You can't just be.
But they signed her, and she was a great pick from the very beginning. I thought, she has an amateur background and all that kind of stuff. She was
nervous of people
working on stuff.
Don't want to make her Ronda Rousey.
Did now.
Because that's what the reminder is. It's the Ronda Rousey gear. Sometimes she has the Ronda Rousey hair, the MMA background. I don't want don't create Ronda Rousey. That's not going to help you at all.
But I mean, they went up against Diamante and then Amber Nova because, well, we already know.
Yeah, that was another one where they're pushing Amber Nova, I guess.
Yeah, no, I like Diamante.
I don't think she's very. You can tell she's very green, but.
And then in her second match back, Chris Statlander had a match on Dark. So she had some reps in before she was on Dynamite this week. She had her reps in with Tesha Price, who's another up and coming wrestler who's solid. She's solid. Then you had Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, who again have been doing a lot of their promos and stuff like that. Again, like we said before, on Dark and Dark Elevation. They've been wrestling together on Dark and Dark Elevation. They've been doing a lot of their promos on Dark and Dark Elevation, saying that they've been underrated and all that kind of stuff. And then all that that is where you'll find them, and that's why they're doing what they're doing on Dynamite, which we'll get into later as well. They beat the Dark Order. Then Big Swole and Red Velvet. Again, you haven't seen Big Swole a lot because she was out with her because she has Crohn's, right? So she's been out.
Yeah.
But now she'll be back. But she's been fighting more in her and Red Velvet now tag team. They got their thing going on. They beat Nyla Rose and Maddie Rankowski, who again another girl we've been talking about, Jeff. Who Maddie Rankowski, she's also an up to cover. I think a great sign for them. She's got to get a couple more reps in there, just work something out, and she'll have it going good. I think.
Oh, I agree.
And
I think that Maddie Rinkowski kind of has like that. She's work. Her personality is ahead of her wrestling. Where
Mhm.
like Layla Hirsch is the wrestling is ahead of her
Yeah, probably
personality.
exactly.
But like Maddie Rinkowski has that down. She knows like how to play a crowd and all. Like this week with the whole Nyla Rose thing on Dark, where like she's just terrified of Nyla Rose, and then Nyla Rose power bombs. Or like I like you could tell that part of her character is it's up front. She's good to go. It's just getting the rest of it to go.
And that was a great one of their main events. But the main event was Matt Seidel versus Joey Janela, which by the way was a great match. We haven't seen Joey Janela really on Dynamite, but he's been putting some work in Dark Elevation, and him and Matt Seidel put on a fantastic closer, and Matt Seidel ended up pulling out that W.
Oh, I agree.
So that was basically all the Elevation.
I think
nothing from Elevation really carried over to Dynamite that I recall, except for the Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky stuff, and then Chris Dallin obviously getting her reps in over there. But why don't you bring in some Dark stuff, and we'll get through that real quick.
Let's see what we got on the Dark. Just hold on here. I'm pulling up my notes.
Yes, gotta have your notes, man.
Your notes.
Yes, I got them right here. I can tell you how they go. It's your favorite tag team group of all time.
There we go. Hold on. Of course it is. The Acclaimed. That's my guys. Okay, so this one was a D3. He doesn't do much. Fuego del Sol.
That's my man.
Close to all of our hearts.
They got to sign him. They just got to sign him
because of Sammy's vlog.
Yep.
He's going to get the contract. I think he's like that guy. They're just lingering, but he's going to get one. Seidel brothers. I do like Mike Seidel. At first, I thought he looked like a very he was like the Walmart version of Matt Seidel, but he's actually really good. So I'll go to him. Dante Martin still is the most impressive 22-year-old I've ever seen in my life. The dude just bouncy, like the amount of you know how when they do that kind of the jump over when someone's bouncing off the ropes. Usually they run between your legs. This man leapt a full human being.
Yeah, Dante Martin.
He leapt a full human. That's nuts. I can't wait for him, man.
It's sad that his brother got hurt because they were a great tag team as well.
But he's making the best of his time though.
Yeah, because they're saying his brother's out for 9 to 12 months. They said,
which sucks, man. That really does suck, honestly. Yeah. But I enjoyed him. My favorite tag team is next, Varsity Blondes.
Yes.
I think they are very close. And they said Brian Pillman Jr. keeps calling Stone Cold Steve Austin to be his manager because they were the original with Hollywood Blondes with him and his dad. So could you imagine one day they're just they come up and you just hear that glass break and here comes Stone Cold in the AEW.
Glass breaking, but it'd be fantastic, dude. To get Stone Cold to be the manager for them would just be fantastic. These guys are good. I don't think they're signed either. I think they're signed to one of their tier deals. I think
Griff is, but I don't think because I thought that what's his name was still with MLW.
He may be
Pillman, and then because they stopped. But I think since they got this thing going, Tony Khan will work whatever he wants to do. He'll buy out their contracts, whatever he has to do to keep them.
But they're too good to fail. And I said if Pillman can get it, dude, that'd be fantastic. That'd be the top of the chain right there for him to get Stone Cold to come out every so often.
They're moving up really fast. Yeah, that would be nuts. I'd be so excited every week. Otherwise, you had Brian Cage versus Marty Casas, aka it's a rematch from back in Lucha Underground. I didn't watch Lucha Underground, but I've been told that it's a Lucha Underground thing. So I guess that was cool.
Put on a good match.
Hard Family Office. They do threaten. They always threaten the Dark Order. That's his thing. Because the Butcher, his cleaver hand got hurt. Not his cleaver hand.
That was a good promo by Bunny. He went off.
Layla Hirsch wound up defeating Drake Maverick's wife. It is. Lance Archer came out. He beat the living daylights out of James St. Patrick. I feel really bad for that guy.
I don't think Lance Archer has not beaten the hell out of anybody except for John Moxley.
No, but he threw this fella around pretty heartily from Jump Street. Jake the Snake was peeing his pants laughing at him. It was hilarious. Otherwise, same thing. Then Dark Order comes back at the Hardy family office. Diamante She beat Rochelle Rose. I thought her name was Rochelle Rhodes because she's
Rochelle.
blonde. I thought, oh, it's another Rhodes. But you're right, it's Rose. I screwed that up. That was my mess up, sir.
It was.
I take full responsibility.
Good.
Oh,
We got our man right here coming up.
Lee Johnson beat the Will All Day fellow with QT attacking him from behind. Penelope Ford.
Penelope Ford.
They really couldn't get this poor girl's name right. Ashley
The Ambrose?
And they're like, I don't know what it is. Is it Ambrose? The Ambrose.
Ambrose?
Colt Cabana beat Colt Carter. That was such a good match. Colt Carter, Colt Cabana. And then my girl Kylie King beat Danny Jordan. I want to see Danny Jordan. I want to see Danny Jordan and Layla Hirsch. Both small. You know, I feel like I would good but strong.
They're both built. They're both built.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. I think sure they fought before.
And of course, your boys SEU defeated Alanis and Gray. Adrian Alanis, by the way, he's been on 2 shows. Both times I thought it was Roman Reigns. I was like, what is he doing here? The door really is open. The forbidden door is all the way open. Roman Reigns that's what everybody keeps saying about Kenny now. Like, Kenny got the Impact title. Is he going to show up on SmackDown and trigger Roman?
That'd be fine.
Jericho was on Broken Skull Sessions.
Anything's possible.
And they let him talk about AEW for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was very weird. It made no sense to me. I was confused. But that's everything I got from the old Dark.
You missed the final match.
To the main
you missed the final match. The final match was Dark Order.
No, that's it.
Hardy Family Office.
What did you have on here?
Looking right at it.
Oh, yeah. I thought it said Dark Order threatens.
Oh, God. I apologize for Jeff. So, yes, that's everything. That's where Dark Order and the Hardy Family Office went at it, and Dark Order ended up winning that one. So they looked good at least going into Dynamite this week. So let's start off with Dynamite itself. And Brian Cage and Hangman Adam Page.
What in the world? This blew my mind whole.
So going into this match, right before anything, I was like, man, Hangman's not going to lose this match. He hasn't lost a match all year. I'm like, it's going to happen. Then I was completely wrong. I mean, now I will say Cage did attack him before the bell, so that may have had something to do with it, and that may be how they're playing this off right now because he was
but I feel like he's been attacked a lot of times beforehand though, and it hasn't but it caused a lot of damage. I don't know, but that was nuts. I didn't expect it, but I think it's a long game here because I think they want to drag on like this. How long until it winds up coming to a head where Hangman meets Kenny to win that AEW title? He's going to be the one who dethrones Kenny at some point. But with Hangman, they have to have that he's just that bottom out guy where it's like he's getting it because the other day he didn't. What was that last week? Something like that when they asked him about the Elite.
Yep.
In an interview, and he just said John Silver's shoulder's coming along, and then just bounced.
And what left? That's it. The Dark Order wasn't even here to get his back. Like, he was being attacked from behind. They weren't there. So I'm assuming that's going to be something either we'll see on BT.
Well, no, they came out afterwards.
But they weren't there. They
came out right after.
Yeah, but they weren't there. As soon as he got beat up, and it's like, well, why weren't you with your guys to begin with? But
true.
It may be something. It may be something you see, where were you beforehand type of deal, because where he's always been. But again, I was shocked. I was completely shocked. And the worst part is Cage had majority of the match. Except for he did a standing moon, try to do a standing
which usually means that he's going to hit a buckshot lariat and call it a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So because Cage lost the momentum when he tried to do a standing moonsault and Hangman turned it around for a little bit, but that was it. There was no other offense by Hangman Page for that. It turned around that quick and Cage was on top again, and then he went for the buckshot lariat, didn't get it, and he lost. And I was like, whoa, that was just shocking to me.
Yeah, I was eyeballing. When he went up for the drill claw, and I'm like, okay, so he's gonna kick him in top of the head, roll out,
exactly,
hit him with
something
lariat, and I'm like, wait, he hit the drill claw? I was like, oh, I guess he's gonna be the one dude who kicks out the drill claw, and he's like 3. I was like, excuse me, now what?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
glad I didn't read your notes until afterwards.
Yes, I was quite
Because
surprised.
I watched it this morning. And I was like, don't look at the notes. His
Don't
notes
ever
say
look at my
they're
notes.
edited. Don't look at them. And I was actually like genuinely surprised. I was like, whoa,
Mhm.
he's
It
just
was a
going to
great
get
surprise.
lost like that. I like
then
it,
you
though.
had,
Yeah,
then
I
you had
like
an
Brian
elite
Cage.
promo.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with Brian Cage. It was just it was a surprise. It was just more a surprise than anything. But I think they're trying to build to the Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega first. So as you know what? So eventually, I'm going to jump around here just because I mean they always throw it out of bounds. So Tony does an interview with Taz later on in the night.
Yeah.
And he calls out Christian Cage. Christian Cage comes out. And this is why I'm saying I think they're building the Christian Cage versus Brian Cage to then have Christian Cage go after Kenny is because he basically said in that promo afterwards when Taz called him out going, oh, you know, what about this Christian thing? And he just jumps right into the picture like that. Christian said, you know, you were always there, you were doing your stuff, and now all of a sudden you're not doing anything, and you're just mad because I'm doing it, and you're teaching these guys the wrong stuff. He goes, I'm gonna teach them the right way. You either win or you learn. And he goes, Hobbs learned from me last week. He goes, and I'll go through each and every one of you guys. He goes, you want to set up Ricky Starks next? I'll take him on. I'll make him sure he learns. So I think they're trying to build to that to then get Christian Cage versus Kenny later. I think it's where they're trying to elevate it to, honestly. That obviously happened later in the night, but I think that was the process afterwards of why all this happened, I think.
Makes sense to me, honestly. Yeah. I think at first I thought they were setting up a Taz versus Christian Cage. I was like, what, is Taz coming out of retirement? Because the way he kept saying, like, but you can't back up your own. I was waiting for Taz to be like, I will.
He just said nothing, dude. He
Taz
he was
I don't want to see a Taz plex on.
I
just don't want to see
Taz
a Taz
speak in forever. Like, he was just dead silent for that. He was looking at Christian Cage like, oh, God.
And he hates him. But I think you'll see a good recovery from Taz next week. I think this is one of them things where they're going to be like, okay, good luck. Mm-hmm. I just hope they don't repeat basically the Sting thing where, like, they take the legend. He has to fight every person on Earth. You know, he has to fight all of them, and then they have, like, a blow-off match. Like, make Team Taz a little bit more important. Like, because right now, I guess you did tonight with the whole Hangman thing, but by making Brian Cage a beast again. So that's good. Obviously, you said it was a pre-match mess. Yeah. So we had that Elite promo with them in their cool. Now they're in a limo because they're terrified after Mox and Kingston ran through their Elite trailer. Mm-hmm. That, by the way, had me claustrophobic with how tight that damn limo looked with all them giant men in it. It didn't look like I wanted to be in there. No way. So after that, obviously, we now have the
that
Bucks
promo was great
against
though.
Of course.
The promo was great because they said, "Oh, we're not afraid of them," and then they heard the horn honk and they got so scared. They were like shitting their pants, dude. It was hilarious, and they turned and knocked us. My bad.
Carl Anderson wasn't shitting his pants because he didn't have pants on. That was his thing. They said, well, Carl's not even wearing pants. And he's like, nope. Like that. Nope. And they have their danglies, like they all have their danglies in. So, I mean, overall, they're just too damn fun, man.
Not bad.
I like the Elite. Don't call it the Bullet Club, but Elite.
Nope. Nope. Can't say
until
that.
The Bullet Club comes over and fights them. That's what
That'll be great. That's what I'm excited
I think the OG Bullet Club's coming over to help.
I can't wait to see that.
Fingers crossed. That's my personal thought process there, is I believe that you're going to have that. So, yeah, the Bucks and the Seidel brothers, everybody looks forward to that because they're all nuts. They're all just really fucking good in the ring. And so, again, I liked the Mortal Kombat reference towards the end there with the
Johnny Cage.
Yeah, where Johnny Cage and like he looked at the hard cam so good. It was like, oh, like
it was hilarious.
Like, Matt, that was good.
He kept the fist there the entire time, staring at the camera, like Dynamite, and like Mike Seidel was like, oh,
it was so good. I don't care. That was good. If he has to be kicked in the nuts for me to have a good laugh, then guess what? Thanks for entertaining me, brother.
You knew eventually it was coming because it was a great match. It was some back and forth. One of my favorite things, minus the Johnny Cage, was when Nick was down after that like sling blade I think he gave Mike Seidel, was it, or Matt? Maybe it was Matt. And then the ref has his back turned. He rolls his brother over, tries to tag him real quick, and then lays there as if it was
and he lays like this,
and then waits
and he gets
forever,
up and they're like,
and then jumps. Oh. I was dying. Oh, that was great.
And that ref he didn't know any of it. He's like, oh, I guess that's what it was.
Well, that was
yeah, dingus.
Oh God, that was what's his face? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, obviously the Bucks win that match. That
was the ref that was giving them trouble in the Indies all the time and was screwing them over. And now he was reffing for this one, and he didn't notice anything supposedly. So maybe he's on their side this time.
Rick Knox.
Yes, it was Rick Knox. Thank you. I was drawing a blank on who it was. Thank you.
Got you, bro.
But what happened after, Jeff? That's the big thing.
What did happen after the match? Obviously, match jumps in, splits.
Well, Color came out after they won, and he sprayed them with cold spray. Pretend it was cold
spray. He was spraying them, and he gave them their little ice packs. I was peeing my pants, and then
I was dying.
Like SCU was mean here though when they came out. They were calling them assholes and everything else. It
was well deserved.
Really came out with a solid promo.
When you find your balls,
I think it's going to make them more heels because, right, you assholes. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. But they're good.
I think
assholes.
that this is going to give them so much more heat, though. I think because I believe that the Young Bucks are going to be the ones who beats them and defeats their streak.
And breaks them apart.
So they're going to break up. Obviously, their next loss equals they're breaking them apart.
Yep, it'll break up SCU. But again, so this is one where
who is SCU anymore anyway?
They went back into the well of. They brought us up on Dynamite like 6 weeks ago, whatever it was, and they even showed them on Dynamite because they've been on Dark and Dark Elevation. So that's where all that build was happening because they were talking about it on that show, and then they came forward on Dynamite and said, "Hey, here's where it is, and this is what we're going to do." And it was like, "Wait, where'd that come from?" No, it came from them talking about it on all the other shows, but you got to pay attention for that all to be coherent. But it was a great promo I thought by SCU and everything else.
I think that's the issue. Until they get that second TV show, you're always going to have that like little bit of disconnect on the people who aren't watching Dark. But they're telling great stories. It's just when you have 2 hours, you can't give everybody their story. Exactly. Everybody's story can't last. So you have to, and so you give them time once a month or twice a month, and then outside of that, you got to get over the internet. Basically, that's the move right now, and that's a smart move because the internet runs the world at the moment. So guess what?
YouTube, everyone tunes into YouTube. Like people watch. I watch most of them live, and it's like 20,000 plus people.
Like right now, everybody's tuning into YouTube.
That's right.
To watch us, to us.
You got to watch
Twitch, and we're on Twitch first right now.
Twitch.tv, baby. Let's go.
What up? What up?
TV. Then we had Jade Cargill do a promo, and she is that bitch. And
she's that bitch, man.
In wrestling, when someone says bitch, it's serious. So we heard
serious.
We heard it from SCU just prior to, and then Jade Cargill just doubled down and saying, she is that bitch though, because everyone's trying to be.
It's a lot of bitches.
Everyone's trying to be her manager, but take money from her. And she said they're not proving anything. A great promo. She's done.
I feel like they're bringing in somebody special for this, though.
They're bringing in. They're bringing in who?
I don't know, but they're not good. It's not someone already on the roster. Like to tease a manager, you don't tease a manager. The manager teases who they would be working with. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason for that. And obviously, AEW loves their factions. So she's just next. She's next on the faction train. I think it's going to be a female. Obviously, I think it's going to be a female manager. But I feel like it's going to be like a Hall of Famer. I feel like it's going to be a Hall of Famer from maybe like a Mickey James or something like that who was just released. So you can start teasing it because you're about 2 months before you need to put up or shut up on it.
Yeah, but I think she'll join her husband on his show. I would love to see her here,
but you never know.
But I think she'll join her husband, just like I think Chelsea Green's going to do the same thing and join her husband, I think, on TNA. Or sorry, Impact.
And she has really good. She's really good with them too. She loves it there. I was watching the Chris Van Vliet interview, and that's what she's literally like. And she was like, she literally even said it. She said, "Hey, I was on the phone with Impact the other day." Like,
Yeah.
you knew that was going to happen. Like, I was surprised. I don't know what the deal was that Matt Cardona like did a 5-stop move at AEW and then the piece to Impact. Like, I wonder what
I'm not
it
sure
was that
either.
like made him just. Was it Brian Myers?
Maybe. I will be back. You run the show. All right.
Got it. All right, people. So let's get on to the next move here because hi, now it's just me and I'm beautiful. Thank you. So obviously next we have is after Jade Cargill gets her is that bitch move on. We have Orange Cassidy and Pentagon. The usual shenanigans happen here. Cassidy continuously tries to do the hands in pockets, and it does not work. We have Penta. He zero Meros like the crap out of him like 5 times in a row. Then Alex Abrahantes, as usual, gets involved in the show. He tries to do the Penta says thing, but gets thrown into the ring. It did not work out as well. Finally, the orange, not the orange punch, the beach break was hit by Orange Cassidy for the win. So they just keep on moving along here with them and at this little feud because I believe Ray Phoenix beat Chuck Taylor on Dark. So you're getting your half, which is the difference, I guess. I was hoping my partner would be back for this, but I guess I'm going to have to run through this myself. Next up, we have the parlay for the big blood and guts match that comes next week. It's going to be huge. The whole show looks like it's going to be huge, right? Honestly. So with blood and guts on the way, what I wound up seeing is I was interested in this because I wanted to see the double promo, the Jericho MJF promo, because they basically been having like a rap battle the last few weeks where they've been kind of promoing off. So to have them both in the ring with the others was kind of just like ready to go. So obviously the parlay happens here. Dax or Cash, they really were the truth when they said they don't know which one's Dax and Cash. I always confuse them. But I believe it was Dax who calls out Santana and Ortiz's kids, which doesn't sound like a bright move, to tell them that that their daddies aren't coming home, and to kiss their kids goodnight or something like that. Whatever it was, that was not it. That was probably not your best move. We had the whole Shawn Spears is a failure move, which is pretty much not a gimmick. It's a real deal. Like NXT couldn't pull it over with the 10 gimmick. They never let him through. He came in AEW. He had that chairman push for like, and then as soon as he lost to Cody, he was gone. You didn't see him. So that made sense. Spears said he is going to watch Sammy drown, which is something different. Then FTR told them that Santana. I think you're gonna get I think Santana and Ortiz are going to steal this. To be honest with you. I think we have a person coming back. Here we go, guys. Sorry, I am doing this in a different way. Is there a man next? Oh my God, he's right there.
I am back. Hey.
Okay, so I'm in the middle of the parlay, bro.
Okay, so we talked about
so right now I kind of just was talking about Santana and Ortiz with the tell your kids that Uncle Jax is gonna, like. I think that's going to. I was saying that I think Santana and Ortiz are going to steal the blood and guts match. I think they're going to be the best in the match.
Oh, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I think they'll go off and they'll do what they have to do in this match. I mean, again, Sammy's probably gonna do some crazy stuff off the cage.
I said, yeah, Sammy's going to be the Shane McMahon of the match. He's obviously going to have the biggest stunt. That's going to be his thing.
Yeah.
I think MJF and Jericho, nothing crazy is going to happen to them. I think they're going to play as safe as they can. They'll be bleeding. They're going to bleed a lot. But I don't think they're going to take any like top of the cage bump kind of thing. I don't think you're going to see that from them. I think that's going to be a Sammy move from like Spears, and I think you're going to the other ones you're all going to see. I don't think that. I think
this whole promo, I like
in general, but I'm just. No, that's what they're there for. They're there to muscle. They're not there to say words.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after last week, they're not there for words. I love JK, but whoa, what was that? He's just throwing straws at people.
Straws. I was dying.
All right, I get it. Like, you're going to beat their face and you're going to suck straws. It was hilarious. I just was really confused that this man was throwing straws at my TV screen.
That was the purpose, man. That's the purpose. Pay attention.
Oh, no, I get it. But just because you get it doesn't mean it's funny. Like, or just because you get it doesn't mean the point is coming across. Sometimes you're just like, why is this man? Like, if someone came up to you and tried to trash talk you and started tossing straws in your direction, you're going to be like, just confused. You're just going to be, I don't know why this man's throwing straws at me. It's going to be pretty common sense. Because I'm not going to tolerate someone tossing straws at me. But at the same time, who cares?
That's what it is. So then,
come right here, bud.
Yep. So then you had Eddie Kingston come out and supposed to have to fight Knock, but Knock said he isn't doing this entertainment BS. And told
he told Knock not today, bro. He's not doing sports entertainment.
Sorry, that's sports entertainment stuff. But then he had told Kenny to come out, and then he got hit in the back with the laptop. And dude, I love Eddie Kingston because he sells everything fantastically. And dude, he took the hit from that laptop and was just down and out. It was great. It was hilarious, but it was good. But I think my favorite part was when he told Brand after he was going to break his leg, "Hey, go ahead, break Knox's leg. I don't care." He knew what he was getting into. And then
I was like, "Yeah."
And then Kay like, "Brand, here, young boy, get out here." And he's like, calling, going, no. Moxley isn't even there yet, and Kay doesn't turn around. He just looks at him and goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, what? And he gets put into a sleeper hold, gets himself put in the chair and about to break his leg, and then you end up getting a match set for next week with the four of those guys being Kingston and Moxley taking on Kenny and Naka.
And Nakamura.
No,
it's not Nakamura.
No, not Shinsuke. Sorry. I know. It was a hope that didn't happen.
That would be great.
Now
that would be a cool match.
We talked about the Taz promo interview. Then you had Statlander versus Penelope Ford.
Yeah, well, Ford was angry, because she threw that plexiglass so hard in her face.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen Ford since then. We haven't seen Ford or anybody since then. And this is a great match.
She had a bad lip injection thing. And so she had a allergic reaction, so that's why her and Kip have not been on TV in a few weeks.
Okay.
She literally had an allergic reaction that they could they just leave them on TV, because that's why it was weird. Like that Miro thing kind of disappeared for a hot minute after that really good main event, but there was nothing they could do because they were stuck. But now that's picking up quick.
We'll get into that.
Continue as you were saying. Sorry, I destroyed
you there. Then right after that, you had but it was a back and forth match. Those two, Statlander, did her boop thing to Ford, and Ford was so mad about that, and
so I can't be booping people, man.
You got to be booped in the nose. But the best part about it was your milk, okay. Then the best part about it was the back and forth. Like they both were getting the 2 counts, real close 2 counts, and Kip kept getting involved. And then when Kip couldn't get involved, then Statler was able to hit her move and get the W. So that was the best part about that.
Exactly. Oh, I totally agree. But yeah, so Statlander obviously gets the W here. So that was good. I'm glad to see her back. I did enjoy this promo that Ken did with Brody Lee, or on Brody Lee.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Brody kind of had him earmarked to be the guy. I think that was something that they were. I think that could really help him in the long run. I think it's going to help 10, because I think that because he's showing so much. He's another one who shows so much progress. I'm not ever here to dig it anything like WWE does, because whatever. But this is the issue they have that AEW doesn't, is you're turning these guys into household names without blinking, where WWE can't get their own guys over. so they buy up the best ones. And you're
Yeah,
seeing
exactly.
like a guy like 10. Like when Dark Order first started, you thought these are a bunch of goofballs, and they're not going to make anything of themselves. And all of them are like red hot. You put out a shirt with any of their faces on it, it's going to sell. And it's going to sell a lot.
Yeah, well,
It's just
yeah,
it's just easy peasy, you know.
I agree. I agree
So
wholeheartedly.
I mean, that was a cool little setup for that finale later on with his title match against
Which was
Darby
another
Allin.
surprise at the end of the day. That was another surprise to me. Like I thought Brody, I thought they because he was doing it for Brody, I thought they were going to give 10 the title, but I get it because the whole Ethan Page thing and Scorpio Sky thing. But I really thought they were going to do. They thought they were going to give him the titles. I thought they were going to switch titles. You know, it was a great match.
I think they're really going to. I think they're pushing him to the moon right now. I don't think you're going to see that title get taken off of him until like it's going to be a squash match of some sort, kind of like the way Cody lost to
Cody
Brody.
went out.
Someone's just going to beat him because every time they keep talking about how he is like has to be worn out by now, from continuously from every week getting beat. That's what's going to be. So it's going to keep him strong, losing the match where it's just he doesn't have anything left because on a weekly basis he's getting beaten and beaten and beaten. So I honestly think that's how you're going to see the difference there.
No, I agree.
But outside of that, after 10 was the Factory versus the Family.
Yeah, the Factory versus Family, which was a great one. I love how they came out on the Nightmare Family bus, which is hilarious.
That was good.
It was another great match. You knew that Anthony Ogogo was going to get involved somewhere in this match because he came out with them.
This dude is, he's not going to stand there and do nothing.
Exactly, and it all took place when the ref couldn't figure out what was going on because everyone was all over the place. So that's when he punches Dustin.
Dude, there's
again.
so many.
He punches Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn has his stomach, ribs area taped up again, or taped up because of the punch from last week.
Right, from the first time he did it.
And then he gets punched again.
And still, somehow.
Yeah. And then Lee Johnson's the one who gets the punch and takes the fall. Lee Johnson's the one who has, right now, he's younger. He's still building himself, so he's going to take the loss. You knew that was going to come.
Yeah,
and he took the loss with the punch to the gut.
Right.
And so he took that loss there.
And it gives QT a little bit of his like extra revenge on Lee Johnson for the whole not thanking him thing, God forbid.
Exactly.
So I think that kind of set that up. And then obviously afterwards, a scuffle between all the peeps ensues, and he starts retreating back to the old Nightmare bus.
Yep,
I think Cody could have done a better job than standing right there, but Cody jumps out the bus. They start battling.
The figure four on the top of the bus
was kind of weird was, I kind of thought like there was going to be a spot though.
I liked it. I liked the
spot.
top of the bus that they pulled that off, and that was the final.
Cody's dramatic, so I thought for sure he was going to get thrown off the bus. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, it was on the concrete. They probably didn't have anything safe enough.
The wrestlers, suck it up. Jeez.
Yeah, okay. You take the fall off the bus.
Just suck it up, wrestlers.
I
will do it right now.
I thought it was
Go
great.
Find me a bus.
All right, I will.
Find me a bus right now.
Jump up top of your house, out of the room you're in right now. That'll be like falling from that bus.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's see it. We'll watch it live right now.
Team Extreme. I'll be back. Just bought this house. I don't have it yet.
So after that whole brawl stuff, this is where Miro finally gets a hold of Kip.
Yep.
And
because Kip said, "There's nothing to worry about." There is, Kip. There is.
I think Miro has finally lost his mind, the proper way. But
I'm happy for that.
I think he's the lunatic though that he's needed to be because he beats the living crap out of Kip, like beats him, breaks his hand basically. It looked like, and he may have actually broke it.
Yeah.
And he hugs him like basically I'm doing my dog like this and goes, "I love you." I'm like, "Excuse me." Like, you thought the Roman Reigns character was crazy. Miro's 10 times nuts.
Yeah. He said, you're forgiven. I was like, oh, no, thanks.
I forgive you. I
wouldn't want to be your friend, sir.
It's like, what?
I'm like, no, you don't forgive me. You can get the heck out of my face. That's what you can do. Not today. But I like that, though. I want them to really give that push to Miro. Honestly, now you think about it, Miro is going to be the one to beat Darby because he's coming after titles. Could you imagine his big crazy self running through Darby? Yeah, he can beat him in so many ways too. Because Darby he's cool with being that guy who like takes a lot of beating before a loss. Like, so let him just mangle Darby up after Darby gets his win streak off, and then you have like this TNT champion who's this big athletic dude like Miro. It's like, all right, every week someone try to beat Miro. That's what you're gonna have.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
He's a standalone champ for a long while. I like that. I agree with you there. And then the final match, which was Darby,
because they said this week Darby beat.
What'd they say?
Darby's my guy. What happened?
Yeah, this is back-to-back weeks of Darby being the main event, and then this time he beats. He beats 10 in a fantastic match. I thought 10 had it, especially when put on that full Nelson.
Yeah.
But he went back.
Yeah, he looked like he was asleep.
He went back to an old school match where he brought him to the corner. I can't remember. It was a Bret Hart match, I want to say, where he brought him to the corner, flipped him around, and pinned him basically.
That's a typical reversal for that whole Nelson move. I think Lashley's gotten beaten with that before, and so I think it's an in general move.
Beat Lashley recent years.
Not this time, but he was using that. He was using that hurt lock before.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It just was never. It wasn't as effective as it became now. But yeah, no. I mean,
now it's amazing.
Darby was able to reverse. I look how he grabbed his knee at first to try and stop it, and then 10 was just too strong. Again, it was a great match they put on. Darby tried to fight him, wrestle him first, and it just wasn't working because 10's just so much bigger that he had to go to his little crazy antics a little bit to get the advantage on him. But 10 seemed to be dominating. But again, it's another match where 10 was dominating.
Because he's a big dude.
Yeah, 10 was dominating the match, but it didn't stay in that way the same way that Brian Cage, Hangman Page did thing.
Oh, exactly. I think it's just. I just think Darby, they want it because they said he passed Cody Rhodes for the longest TNT title reign, or the most matches defended. So,
he has missed defense at 9.
Since he passed that, and now he's like a top, I can see his reign about to wrap up soon. Then, since now you're technically the best TNT championship of all. I don't think it's gonna be like till next week. He's not gonna lose it, but I think now they're going to start building a story for the guy who's going to beat him.
Well, they said it's going to be Miro. Maybe Miro does come out next week and beat him.
I'll be okay with that.
Maybe it is the Miro run now.
I didn't say no to it.
But what happened afterwards is the big part here. This is where Ethan Page attacks Darby during the match. So that also had happened.
He thought he was going to get him beat by that.
And he did. Darby was just relentless.
Even though he didn't get him during it, after the match, with Scorpio and Page attacking him and Sting.
Yeah. Sting got taken out the knees. He put on that what is it called?
Yeah, he took out. You can't be taking out that man's knees.
No, he hit him pretty good. And he put him in his submission move and beat him and took him out solidly until Lance Archer and 10 came to save the day. So I'm thinking Lance Archer 10 team up next week to take on Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Oh, they would get the first dib would be 10 and Lance. Mm-hmm. No, I think it's going to be Lance and Darby because I don't think Sting's not going to just wrestle to wrestle. So I think
we'll see.
Because he hasn't wrestled yet. He did a cinematic match. He hasn't actually wrestled a match like in the ring live. So
yeah, maybe
next week taped one.
Yeah, it should be.
Because it all depends. Because they do a couple live, a couple taped. So if they do one of the taped ones where they can kind of cut him off, then you're good to go.
Yeah, it was.
This way you can hide any that's bad.
I usually can figure out when they're live, but this week I can't remember. I didn't watch the pre-show.
Because I think that's what they can do is
the pre-show tells you if they're at the arena together, then they're there during the pre-show. If the pre-show is them at home, then it was their taped episode. I just don't remember how it was. I'm assuming Blood and Guts is going to be a taped episode, honestly.
I figure that's because you don't know what's going to. God forbid.
Unless they do make it a live episode And they don't use it as a tape one. Because I can't remember if this was a tape one or not. This may not have been. Maybe it is live next week.
That would be scary.
Live, very bloody.
I'm okay with it. Give me the blood. I want your blood. All
right,
so we really do have. It's not like a crazy amount of matches coming up next week, but next week is Blood and Guts. Are you 100% ready for that?
Yes, I am. I enjoy all of that.
Yeah. So that's all I got for this episode. Our first live episode and our first episode doing this in a while.
Yep, but we'll be back.
You feel good about
live?
Yes, we're gonna try to aim for Thursdays in this afternoon zone, but we'll let you know. Okay, I'm gonna have everything scheduled like pre, so you'll see it pop up saying when we're going to go live next week. Once we figure it out, and remember, guys, as our little cool ticker at the bottom keeps saying, subscribe, YouTube, Twitch, on both of them. Hit the alert button so that it pops up. Like today, I saw my own account pop up 30 minutes beforehand, and it said, "Hey, couple of jars about to hit YouTube's." And
going live. Same with Twitch. It's pop up on Twitch too.
In 30 minutes.
That notification bell. Get ready for it.
Yep. Gives you a half hour to figure it out. So, guys, we really appreciate the first episode and everybody hanging in with us. And hey, if you don't catch it live, always remember you can just catch it on our YouTube or Twitches, as it will be on there now. So YouTube will be there forever. Twitch it will not. So definitely get our YouTube page. I don't care. Watch it whenever you guys want. You know, we're kind of attractive. So we're not terrible looking.
You know?
Yeah, like baby Nick Camarado.
You know, that'll happen too. Like you did today.
Right. It shows how real this is a real show. That's why. It's real. Things happen in the house. But Rye, I appreciate you coming on with me and us doing this cool show. Next week, let's see what we can do. Blood and Guts. So
Blood and Guts coming next to you next
during
week.
the Blood and Guts.
All right. We're out.
Later on, kids. Bye-bye now. Let me figure out how to turn this thing off.
All right. Good luck with that, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. Bye.
All right.